Hey there, it's Mike. Thanks for checking out this video. We are going to do a keeper slash edit, initial edit of some stuff I just did. This was on Halloween. We set a record here in Appleton for the most snow ever on Halloween. We got about 4 inches or so. And the interesting thing about this is when you see all these pictures, all the snow was pretty much gone in a few hours. It got warmer and just everything got kind of wet. And the kids went trick-or-treating and everything was okay. But I thought, you know, let's go downtown. If you know my channel, you know me. Bad weather can make for good photos. So if it's raining or snowing, I like to head downtown. So let's look at what I got, and I can, you know, point out the stuff that I kept, and then we'll go through an initial edit. So first shot, sometimes you take a look at it right away, and I did, and I knew the settings were off because this was pretty overexposed, but I actually, in hindsight, I really liked it. And so I decided that I was going to keep this one and work on it. So here's one, just, you know, again, I would love to have a person walking by or something like that, but, you know, I got a car going by. Kind of, I'm going to probably work with that one. This one's got the tail light, which is red, but probably not. This I liked. I just, you know, I tend to shoot, I like to shoot closer, but I also like to shoot a little bit further away, a little bit looser, just so I can crop the way I want to later. So I definitely want to work with that. I just like the red purse and the brick wall and things like that. This I worked for a little bit. I decided to go horizontal, just with this construction worker, kind of just hiding out from the snow. And again, it's one of these where, man, it would have been great to have some lady walking towards him, or somebody with an umbrella, or walking a dog, or just something a little bit more. But it's not bad. Here's just some windshield wipers pointed straight up. I don't know. I mean, I'll take a peek at it, but then I went into a parking ramp, went on kind of the second in a stairwell, actually, and was photographing out these windows. I really liked the framing potential here. So, and I like the fact that there's 3 of them, and they tend to say if there's, you know, there's kind of an old adage, if there's, you know, 3 things in a photo, that makes it interesting. So, which obviously I don't really need to follow the rules all the time, but I did work this a little bit, you know, took some, you know, further away. There's one where it's got the more of the vehicle in it. I took some horizontals. I kind of like this because it shows some context of, you know, the building that they're working on, how it's not finished. So we'll take a look at that. This guy in his electric wheelchair was trying to get, you know, I watched him for a couple minutes. I almost went down to help him. I'm on the 2nd floor now of the parking ramp by the transit center, and he was trying to get up this, to get to the sidewalk after he crossed the street. And so the confusing part is I'm using part of the bus here, and I'm not really sure if it's going to work, but here's the snow coming down, so I'm taking some shots of these. Then we get some people in here, and I'm really kind of waiting, you know, what's a good shot? Probably that one. This didn't work out at all. Just tried to put like a lot of the snow-covered bush here and then have this guy walking in front. Just didn't really work at all, so we're going to skip those. This is a tree on campus of Lawrence University, the small private campus at the end of our downtown area, and it's one of these trees. I'm going to pick that one that it's very unique because it can't make up its mind. It's got green and yellow for, like, you know, beginning to change fall, and then it's got the oranges and the reds and the dark reds, and it's got just a lot of different colors in one tree. It's very interesting. So I took some of that. There's one right next to it. This one, I took a couple close-up ones. I'm going to work on one of those. This is interesting. I'm definitely going to work on that one. He's really covered up. The only thing that, you know, you can kind of tell it's a person, that yellow hooded sweatshirt, things like that. And there's some more a little further away. Then this vehicle is brushing snow out of the way it came by. Didn't like that. There's somebody else. So I kind of worked this area. I like that with the hat and the bag and the way he's really like the stride there. We're going to keep that. Then I turned horizontal. I started working with that there. Not really sure if I have anything there. Not really. These are okay. Maybe that one just to play with. This is interesting, just the dog and the guy. So here's some pumpkins. I like that one. I like the single one. It's kind of smashed in. This is some interesting like statue or something. I really like the hat, things like that. We're gonna work on that one. Here's a bumper that just fell off. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna work on it. And then lastly, this I'm gonna pick this one. This is some windows. They're angled just a little bit. It's a corner downtown, and you just get really neat effects. I got something of these windows vertically from I believe my second book. This fire engine was there for only a few seconds and the light changed, but I got lucky and I got that red vehicle truck walking by. So now that I got some keepers, let's go and start working on some of these. So this one, it's really overexposed. Now what you're going to notice over here on the side, I have a preset called real estate that I have when I do interior work, and I just kind of apply it to everything, and it just some very minor adjustments, but just gives me a start. So first thing, I don't really like all that road there, so maybe I want a little bit of it, but not much. But now, if I add some texture and it's really blowing out, right? And I don't, I kind of like it. I'm definitely going to increase the saturation. But if I bring it down a little bit and really do a lot of dehaze, it'll deepen the colors. And now it's really starting to pop, like that red. That looks really good. I like that. Again, I'm nitpicky. Wish I had a person walking around in here or some activity. But as for just a tree in winter, the red, it's actually pretty good. So here's the truck. What do I want to do with this? Again, crop-wise, do I want the wheel in there? Is it about the truck? Like maybe in there. Now this is underexposed for sure. So definitely want to bring that up and really pop the whites. I want that snow to pop. But I like the red and the red. So again, dehaze will deepen those colors. Oops, it's already been picked. So this is interesting. Now here I want to get really... I don't like that garbage can that much, but I want to get right in there, probably, and the verticals are a little off. That weird real estate photographer in me wants to get those verticals straight, but something like that. Again, I'm always bumping up the texture and dehaze. That's kind of a given. Out of habit, I do that. I can always bring it down, but let's bring this up a little bit, definitely. Something like that. I don't know why I like that. The brick, I think it's the red. The red, your eye goes to that, and that red purse and the snowstorm, that foot right there is really nice too. You can see the footprint it left. Here's the construction worker. Now here it comes down to, how much of the street do I want? I'm thinking something like that, because I definitely want the viewer to see that construction worker. I don't need to probably do saturation. This is one of these again. Is this black and white? No, because I want that yellow to pop. I want people to go to that yellow and all the color over here. This is kind of plain, and I want the color of all this over here, your eye, to go to that. So that looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit too much dehaze, but definitely can't be black and white. Here's these weird, I don't know. I don't know what you would do with this. Do it like this so you have the truck in there. It's an interesting shot, but it's not anything spectacular. I surely wouldn't post it on social media or put it in a book or anything. It does say winter though. I mean, this is what, if you're not in a winter climate, this is what you do so your windshield wipers do not stick to your windshield. So when you get in and you drive and you turn your windshield wipers on, if they're frozen, they won't move. So then you're out of luck. But so here's this, like this now. I don't want to crop too much. I really like the idea of the frame here. So, but I'm shooting through a window, so that always tends to kind of take away some contrast. I don't know why I'm so hung up on the vertical here. But so in that case, then I'm a dehaze fan. Like really do something like that, a little bit of texture, maybe bring the whites up. Might be a little bit too much. Again, this is an initial edit, so this may not be exactly what I end up with, but pretty darn close. I like that. I like the pops of yellow around here. Here's one I don't think it's better than the first one. You know, I guess my idea here was to give me some options and to maybe, you know, have this down here, but it's too clunky. I don't like it. That one is not as good as this one. So this one I like a little more. I definitely want to keep that frame up there if I can at the top, the black line, things like that. I can't quite. Oh, I'm kind of wishing I could almost center it like right there. Put the center of the, but I'm cutting that guy's feet off, but it is centered a little more. Maybe adjust the vertical a bit. This is going to make it a little off center, but again, some texture, some dehaze. I kind of like the fact that the workers are over here and this is what they're working on is over there. If I want to solve the guy with his feet cut off, I got to lose the frame at the top. Then I'm dealing with that. And I'm not really sure if I can. Nope, I don't like that. I got to keep it as shot. So maybe right there. Again, I got to correct the verticals. But let me know on this one. I don't know if I'm being too anal retentive with having to be centered, but I kind of like that guy's feet down there. That's a tough one. I'll come back to that one. So here's the guy here. This obviously needs a lot more white. It definitely tricked the meter. Not sure if again, I'm a fan of putting people in the corners of things real tight like that. You know, but it leaves the viewer kind of wondering what is going on. What is this? What is this green thing coming through? I don't know. It's either good or bad. I'm not really sure. It's an interesting shot, though. Not sure how I feel about it. Let me know. This one, I don't know why I kept that one. Here we go. This one I like. This kind of says Wisconsin, definitely. Like I want a lot of the bus. I want the people just off to the side like this. You know, some dehaze, some texture. I like a lot of the white in there, make the whites pop. A little more exposure. Rarely kind of get those whites popping. It might be a little too much, but I do like that quite a bit. That's actually pretty neat. I do like that quite a bit. Here's that tree, the tree that cannot make up its mind. That's what I call this. And this is more of a nature shot. It's a nature / street shot, right? Kick up the vibrance here. Definitely bring the whites up. But that's, boy, that sums up Wisconsin sometimes when fall and winter collide. There's a close-up of it. I don't know. Let me know which one you think is better. You want the tree, or do we just get right into all the leaves like that? Just add some saturation, maybe a little too saturated. Got to be careful. But that's neat. So here's this guy. Wow, this is interesting. This is one of these horizontal, kind of, put him in the middle. I'm kind of thinking that. I don't want the stairs in the building to be too much of a distraction. I do want you to see the guy eventually. So maybe something like that. Boy, he's really covered with a lot of snow. I wonder if now, sometimes what I will do, when I want a certain color to pop, it's having almost zero impact. As you can see, the yellow. If I desaturate it, you can definitely see his yellow hood disappears. But I'm making these leaves pop. I'm going all the way to 100. I mean, I really want that yellow to try to stick out. But I'm really cropping tight on this. You know, this could really start to fall apart. Something like that. I can bring it up, include more of the tree, like that, more of the leaves. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's actually pretty good. I like that. ISO 400. Yeah, that should hold together. Here's another one with the guy with the hat. Maybe I should try a vertical composition with him. Something like that is surely interesting. Again, let's go to HSL. Specific color, really pump up the yellow there. That's interesting too. So you got this kind of horizontal, and then you got more of a vertical with the tree. Now I could certainly, I could put him in that corner, I could put him in this corner. I'm not really sure. Again, any of these photos I'm making these decisions on, let me know what you would do differently. This is okay. After editing the first two, I don't see anything there I want to work with. And this is neat. Here's, so here's one that as much as I talk about my real estate background and doing verticals and horizontals that are even and all are straight, here's one to make it a little more interesting. I would actually tilt a little bit like this. I don't know what to do with this. Is it black and white? Maybe. I don't know. It's not that great. I mean, he's carrying a dog bed, which makes it interesting. He's got the dog and he's got the cup in. I mean, there's some interesting factors to it, but probably not. So here's the pumpkin, and I really kind of want to go a little bit tighter on that. Make it an 8x10. I could probably make it a square, but I want to give it a little bit of a base down here, like that. And then a little bit of texture. Make those whites. It's got a lot of nice contrast already, so that's neat. I wonder if black and white, could work, but the orange, the orange does make it. Definitely shout out Halloween. This one, all this snow, this is one maybe I wouldn't even crop. I really like. If I cropped and I lost some of this, it might lose something. I don't know what it is about this. It's very, what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, kind of like with this hat, it reminds me of Raiden from Mortal Kombat. If you know Mortal Kombat at all, and the god Raiden, one of the characters, or Kung Lao, another character in Mortal Kombat, kind of reminds me of that. This is just it's very interesting. Definitely add some more white. Here's the bumper. I don't know. Is it interesting enough as a photo? Here's a bumper off in a snowstorm. It's a detail shot pretty much. Nothing really there. I don't know. This I like quite a bit. I'm gonna see if it'll correct the verticals automatically. How it does. It did. And now it just comes down to cropping, and maybe the verticals are still off just a tad. I like those. And then this, just from working with this window before, I know it's going to need some dehaze and some white. I wonder if color temperature too. Usually outside you don't have to mess with color temperature too much, but there's something with that window. It needs to be cooled down a little bit. I like this blurry here. You do have a person right there. Maybe kick up the vibrance a little. Actually quite a bit I'm doing. Not really going to work in black and white. So there you go. There's about 15 shots or so starting there. And this was done in just under an hour, I'd say. And there's a nice variety. It's one of the things I love about street photography. The variety of stuff I could get in under an hour just walking downtown, transit center, campus, the sidewalk. That's neat. Some close-up stuff like this. Some window reflections in winter are always nice. If you have snow, definitely try some window reflections. So let me know what you think of those. That was first snow of the winter season, so to speak, even though it was Halloween. Check out my links below. Give me a thumbs up if this helped you. Leave some comments down below. Hope to talk to you soon with another video. Thanks. Bye-bye.